So I was about to do a video on the best dramas that's nominated for Emmys, and I wanted to do a little bit more research. So I went on X, and I saw an article by Variety, and they were saying that Hot Ones should have been nominated for Best Talk Series. I was like, oh, this is intriguing. So evidently, I guess Sean Evans, who's the host of Hot Ones, petitioned the Emmy voters and said, like, hey, I want my show. I have A-list stars. I interview them. Like, I want my show to be considered for Best Talk Series, and evidently they said no, which is almost ridiculous. So I said, well, let me see who was nominated. So basically, you have The Daily Show, which is basically The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Late Night with Seth Meyers, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And that's it. Like, Fallon didn't even get nominated this year, which is interesting. So let's be honest. Like, the person who's going to win is The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. John figured out, watching John Oliver, is like, oh, I can do what I want to do one day a week. And he took that model, the John Oliver model, and implemented that. And the great thing about the new Daily Show is the rest of the correspondence gets to host too. So it's not like the old days where John hosted every night. You know, you got John on Mondays, usually on Mondays, and then the other correspondence gets to host. And all this happened because Trevor Noah was like, peace out, I'm gone. Which, by him leaving, actually made the show better. Now, I like Trevor Noah, so it's not a knock against him. But this thing would have never happened if Trevor didn't leave. So it's like, hey, kudos. Like, if they win, like, Trevor should actually get a nomination too. He should actually get an award too if they win. But if you look at this list, like, Kimmel's Kimmel, Colbert's Colbert. If the Daily Show doesn't win, I would give it to Seth Meyers, because a closer look is really good. Like, there's, if you don't watch any news at all, you shouldn't get your news from comedians. But if you did and you didn't watch the Daily Show, Seth Meyers and A Closer Look is really good of giving you information about politics. So that's excellent. But because you only have 1, 2, 3, 4 nominees, you could have had Hot Ones as the 5th nominee. And why not? All these shows that I just told you about, they all have their clips on YouTube. Because most people do not stay up late if they got to go work in the morning. They're not staying up late to watch this stuff, and they watch the clips on YouTube or TikTok. But so if the clips of these network shows are good enough for YouTube, why can't a YouTube produced series, which has A-list stars all the time, and he's interviewing them? Now again, Sean Evans is not the second coming of Barbara Walters, right? But Kimmel's not the greatest interviewer. Seth Meyers isn't the greatest interviewer. Stephen Colbert's not the greatest. They're fine. Like, I like them all. Like, I tune in and watch them all the time. But I mean, we're not going to get these guys confused with Mike Wallace at his peak, or Oprah at her peak. These guys are comedians, but they're good at what they do. But they're not the best interviewers in the world. So why can't Sean Evans be nominated? Yeah, it's a chicken wing eating show, but he does ask personal questions. He does ask fun questions. Like, it's no different than the rest of these shows. It's, so, and for instance, like Sabrina Carpenter, Sabrina made the song Espresso, big song. Her interview, her Hot Ones went up like 6 days ago, and already got 4.6 million views. Like, if any of these shows listed, I don't know if they're getting that type of traction on YouTube. So I don't understand if a show, because with the Emmys, we got shows from Netflix. We have shows from Amazon. We have shows from FX. Like, we have shows from these different platforms, different networks. So why can't YouTube be part of this too? So what do you think? Were the Emmy voters wrong for just snubbing Hot Ones? Do you think that's difficult, but it's because Hot Ones is just for YouTube? They should be up for Webbies and online awards only? Or should they, just like they open the door later for HBO and then FX and Netflix and Amazon and Apple Plus, should they open the door if a really highly produced show on YouTube that garners a lot of attention, that has A-list stars, that people usually talk about more than any of these shows, why can't Sean Evans and Hot Ones be considered for an Emmy? Let me know.